Good evening. Welcome to the May 2nd, 2017 council meeting. Penny, can I have a opening statement and roll call, please?
Sure. Let the minutes reflect that adequate notice of the holding of this regular meeting of the Howell Township Council was provided for in the following manner: by the posting of a copy of said notice upon the bulletin board in the Township Municipal Building on January 5, 2017, by the faxing of a copy of said notice to the Tri-Town News, Asbury Park Press, and Star Ledger for information and publication on January 5, 2017, by the filing of a copy of said form of notice in the Township Clerk's office on January 5, 2017. The public will be allowed to attend and will be allowed to participate pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Law. The public is reminded that civility and decorum will be maintained during the meeting. Any contracts awarded at this meeting and between now and the next meeting will be required to comply with the requirements of Public Law 1975, Chapter 127. In accordance with the Fire Prevention Code, be advised that this facility is designed with emergency exits for your safety. The locations are as follows. Upon exiting the meeting room, they are to your left and to your right. Furthermore, smoking is not permitted in the municipal building. Please take note that this meeting is being videotaped for possible future broadcast on Howell Television. Roll call, Mrs. O'Donnell.
Here.
Mrs. Smith.
Present.
Mr. Walsh.
I'm here.
Mr. Nicastro.
Here.
Mayor Berger.
She will not be joining us today. Mr. Mayfield, do we have reason to go into executive session?
We do, Mayor. Sorry, Deputy Mayor. Pending litigation, Hardin versus Township of Howell et al., docket number 15-08043, contract negotiation, PBA contract, and block 175, lot 15.
Ms.
Woolman, can you please read the executive session resolution?
Whereas the governing body of the Township of Howell is authorized pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12 to exclude the public from that portion of the meeting for purposes of discussing specific matters as permitted by NJSA 10:4-12. Whereas the governing body of the Township of Howell intends to discuss certain matters which are deemed confidential pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12. Whereas at this time, the governing body of the Township of Howell cannot determine the time when the discussion to be held in executive session will be made public, but will disclose the minutes of executive session when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Now therefore be it resolved by the governing body of the Township of Howell that this meeting shall be adjourned to an executive session, and the public will be excluded in order that the governing body of the Township of Howell may discuss the item previously listed, and upon reconvening the public meeting, the presiding officer will announce, if possible, the time when and the circumstance under which a discussion conducted in executive session will be disclosed to the public.
Motion to go into executive session.
Second, please.
Second.
Roll call, Mrs. O'Donnell.
Yes.
Mrs. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Walsh.
Yes.
Mr. Nicastro.
Yes, we will be back out at 7:30.
I call this meeting to order Tuesday, May 2nd, 2017. Township Clerk, can I have the opening statement and take a roll call on the Student Township Council?
Let the minutes reflect that adequate notice of the holding of this regular meeting of the Howell Township Student Council was provided for in the following manner: by the posting of a copy of said notice upon the bulletin board in the Township Municipal Building on January 5, 2017, by the faxing of a copy of said notice to the Asbury Park Press, Tri-Town News, and Star Ledger for information and publication on January 5, 2017, by the filing of a copy of said form of notice in the Township Clerk's office on January 5, 2017. The public will be allowed to attend and will be allowed to participate pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Law. The public is reminded that civility and decorum will be maintained during the meeting. Any contracts awarded at this meeting or between now and the next meeting will be required to comply with the requirements of Public Law 1975, Chapter 127, NJAC 1727. Special notice in accordance with Fire Prevention Code. In accordance with the Fire Prevention Code, be advised that this facility is designed with emergency exits for your safety. The locations are as follows. Upon exiting the meeting room, they are to your left and to the right. Furthermore, smoking is not permitted in the municipal building. Please take the note that this meeting is being videotaped for possible future broadcasts on Howell Television. Also, no food or beverage is permitted in this room. Roll call of Student Township Council. Student Council Member Mason Weiss.
Present.
Student Council Member Alexandria Procaccio.
Present.
Student Council Member Kean Dowd.
Present.
Student Council Member Catherine Taylor.
Present.
Student Mayor Kelly Larkin.
Present. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Government Day Proclamations. Proclamation. Be Kind to Animals Week, May 7th through May 13th, 2017. To be read by Student Council Member Mason Wise.
Be Kind to Animals Week, May 7th through May 13th, 2017. Whereas human beings have a moral obligation to protect animals from pain, fear, and suffering, since animals cannot speak up for themselves, it is our duty to be their voice and their advocates. And whereas humane education is an important resource for instilling the virtues of kindness, compassion, and respect for animals and children. And whereas the American Humane Association's Be Kind to Animals Week is the oldest commemorative week in American history and has taught generations of schoolchildren these important values since 1915, making it the longest-running humane education effort in the nation's history. And whereas the first full week of May, beginning on a Sunday, has been set by Congress as the annual celebration of the national observance celebrating the importance of kindness to animals. Now, therefore, Teresa Berger, Mayor of the Township of Howell, is hereby proclaimed May 7th through May 13th, 2017, as Be Kind to Animals Week in the Township of Howell, and encourages residents to give their pet an extra hug and always act kindly to all animals.
Proclamation. Emergency Medical Services Week, May 21st through May 27th, 2017. To be read by Student Council Member Alexandra Procaccio.
National Emergency Medical Services Week, May 21st through 27, 2017. Whereas emergency medical services, EMS, is a vital public service, the members of EMS teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whereas this year's theme, EMS Strong, Always in Service, aims to increase awareness of the dedication of those who provide the day-to-day services of medicine's frontline, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury, and whereas the EMS system consists of emergency physicians, emergency nurses, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, firefighters, educators, administrators, and others. And whereas the members of EMS teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. Now therefore, Teresa Berger, Mayor of the Township of Howell, does hereby proclaim the week of May 21st through 27th, 2017 as Emergency Medical Service Week in Howell Township, and encourages residents to recognize the dedicated service of EMS personnel in our community.
Proclamation. Physical Fitness and Sports Month, May 2017. To be read by Student Council Member Kian Dahl.
National Physical Fitness and Sports Month, May 2017. Whereas May has been declared National Physical Fitness and Sports Month as a great time to spread the word about the benefits of getting active, and whereas experts say physical activity can improve muscular fitness, bone and heart health, lower the risk for heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and certain types of cancer, reduce the risk of falls, and improve cognitive functioning. And whereas participation in sports helps individuals work as a team, develop self-discipline, and achieve goals, and whereas finding a sport or physical activity that you truly enjoy boosts energy and confidence. Now, therefore, Teresa Berger, Mayor of the Township of Howell, does hereby proclaim May 2017 as National Physical Fitness and Sports Month in the Township of Howell, and encourages residents to get active for their health and well-being.
Proclamation. National Hamburger Month, May 2017. To be read by Student Council Member Catherine Taylor.
National Hamburger Month, May 2017. Whereas Americans have been celebrating National Hamburger Month in May for years in festivals and best burger competitions. And whereas it is believed that the hamburger first appeared in the 19th or early 20th century with the desire for food that is easy to eat while on the move. It has been staple of the American diet for decades. And whereas hamburgers are enjoyed in restaurants from fast food to five-star, and homemade in private kitchens and on backyard grills. And whereas the grilled hamburgers are a traditional sign of summer and can be created with variety selections of toppings and accompanying dishes, burgers themselves can be made from a variety of ingredients from beef to vegetables. Now, therefore, Teresa Berger, Mayor of the Township of Howell, does hereby proclaim May 2017 as National Hamburger Month in the Township of Howell and encourages residents to enjoy hamburger this month.
Proclamation, Paint the Town Pink Month, May 2017, to be read by myself, Student Mayor Kelly Larkin. Each May, towns in Monmouth, Ocean, and Middlesex counties join Merman's Health Paint the Town Pink effort to raise awareness of the importance of annual mammography, which is the best defense against breast cancer, and the goal of Paint the Town Pink is to encourage women of 40 and older in our community to have their annual mammogram and to raise money to provide mammograms to underserved women in our community. And most doctors feel that early detection tests such as mammograms save thousands of lives each year, and that many more could be saved if even more women took advantage of these tests. Therefore, Teresa Berger, Mayor of the Township of Howell, does hereby proclaim May 2017 as Paint the Town Pink Month in the Township of Howell. Township Clerk to give the Township Clerk's report.
Primary Election Day is Tuesday, June 6, 2017. Polls are open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Voters are urged to check their sample ballots for the location of their polling places. A list of polling locations and a map of voting districts is available on the Township's website at www.twp.howell.nj.us.
Does any member of the Student Township Council have anything to report on?
Yes, I do. I would like to mention that so far, Student Government Day this year was a huge success, especially the K-9 police dog presentation. And I would like to personally thank everyone involved, including the Deputy Mayor, Mr. Nicastro. Thank you.
I agree with you, Mason, and I would like to add that I think it was a great opportunity for students to get involved and to learn about our township and our community.
I also agree. I feel like I've learned a lot from this presentation and the presentations that were there.
All the different departments helped people realize all the different jobs in Howell that are around and that are not mostly recognized, but they are still here.
I also feel this was a great opportunity for students to get involved with getting involved with government. It was a great opportunity for everyone.
Hearing of citizens for the Student Government Council. Any member of the public can come forward to the microphone and address the Student Government Council.
Good evening, students. My name is Barbara Dixell, 62A Piazza Vittoria, Freehold, New Jersey. I think you kids are doing a great job tonight. And I have to tell you that the Howell Township School Board of Education gives you guys the greatest education. However, I need to tell you that the governing body of the Township of Howell has just cut $260,000 out of the Howell Township municipal budget. Our school taxes, our property taxes, for every person in this township, are 73% of our property taxes go to the Howell Township Board of Education. Senior citizens on Social Security cannot afford 73% of property taxes who live solely on Social Security. What I am asking now tomorrow night is your Howell Township School Board budget hearing, Middle School North at 7 o'clock. I am asking this governing body tonight to draft a resolution that you will present tomorrow night to your school board, asking them to be realistic and cut the taxes for everybody and including the seniors. We can't afford it. We're getting to the point where we can't live in Howell anymore. It's too expensive. So I am asking you now, I am asking a citizen's motion from the floor to ask this council to pass a resolution tonight to be presented tomorrow night to the Howell Township Board of Education, asking them to cut the taxes.
I agree that the taxes are high. Thank you for coming out tonight.
Please discuss it amongst yourselves and draft a resolution. I expect to see it tomorrow night. Thank you.
Bob Walsh, 24 Camelot Drive, Howell, New Jersey. My lovely daughter, I texted her this afternoon a picture. I told her she had been sitting in your seat, Mayor, back 12 years ago. And she wanted me to, she said, Dad, go tell them I said congratulations. I hope they had a great day. She knows she learned a lot, and she still speaks with two of the people that were on the council with her 12 years ago during Student Government Day. And my daughter right now is at LaSalle University going for her doctorate in psychology. And she says she expects great things from all of us. So thank you very much for doing this, and I hope you got a lot out of it, and looking forward to hearing about your successes in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Mr. Fiore. I'm the Vice Principal of Howell Middle School North. So what I would like to ask you, is there anything that you learned today that you'll be able to bring back to your school and maybe incorporate in your school to help improve the overall school environment? Anyone that would like to answer?
To keep the grounds clean and how to make the world a better place with recycling and reusing materials.
Anyone else? Thank you.
Reading of essay by myself, Student Council Mayor Kelly Larkin. If I were the mayor of Howell, I would boost student civic engagement by asking for student volunteers to plant flowers throughout Howell Township. This would not only beautify our buildings, it would also foster a sense of pride and camaraderie among the town. Another idea I would like to implement is to partner our senior citizens with a student volunteer that would help guide them in the use of technology. This would help our seniors be current with the internet and would help to close the generation gap. It would also create bonds of friendship between the younger and older generations. The last idea that I would like to see become reality if I were mayor is that I would like to have the Southern School Gymnasium open on Friday and Saturday nights for kids to play organized games like volleyball and basketball. This gives kids something to do on the weekends instead of sitting on the couch looking at their phones all night. It would be a place where they could have fun with their friends in a safe, supervised environment. The first thing that I would do is ask students to volunteer to plant flowers around the Howell Township buildings. The township buildings would include, but not be limited to, the library, the fire station, the police station, the municipal building, Southern School, and senior centers. Planting the flowers around the buildings will give the volunteers a sense of gratification. Seeing the lovely colors and the smiles that the flowers will make the people want to volunteer again and again. The more the students help the community, the more the community will spread seeds and grow. The second idea that I would like to put in place to help students with civic engagement is to have students volunteer to help our senior citizens navigate today's technology. Technology is new to most seniors, so they would benefit from having the students teach them how to use technology in their daily lives. When the students are helping the seniors are significantly making a change in the lives of the seniors. When the two generations work together, something great comes from the friendship that they form. The last idea I have is the Southern School Gymnasium, which is run by the Howell PAL, should be open to students on the weekends. This will provide the students with something constructive to do with their time instead of sitting on the couch watching television or looking at their phones. By opening the gym, the students will have a great place to have a good time with their peers. They will be able to relax and hang out while they are playing a game that is set up and supervised in the safety of the gym. This is civic engagement because the students will forge a greater sense of community and belonging by being part of this youth group. In brief, if I were the mayor of Howell, I would have opportunities for students to volunteer helping to plant flowers and teaching our seniors about technology will make Howell Township a better place to live and a better place to be a student. By opening the gymnasium at Southern School on weekends, the students will have a place to be physically active and social.
You guys did really good today. Thank you very much. Very good.
Long day, but it was a great day. So first, I'm Deputy Mayor Rob Nicastro, and I had the privilege to spend some time with your children this morning. And I have to tell you, they were a lively group, very active and participated. And it was a unique opportunity because they had the opportunity to hear from different levels of government. Today, we had some of our county elected officials here. And I just want to recognize that Freeholder Serena DeMassa was here, Freeholder John Curley was here, the Monmouth County Clerk, Christine Halen, was present, and Sheriff Sean Golden from the sheriff was also here. And they had a unique perspective of what the county level government does. And then they also had the opportunity to see what the local municipality government is and what we do for them and for the people, and really what the operation takes. You know, we always say these are institutions, and I think they kind of understood that, you know, there's a lot of layers and a lot of things that happen that we just take for granted. So from what I heard, they enjoyed it. They did take away something from that, and that's a good thing. I also want to steal a little thunder from the Superintendent Joe Isola, who said something that struck me today. He said, what makes a great community, and I'm paraphrasing, it's the schools. Why do families move to Howell Township? Because we have great schools. And this is what the product gives us. So that's a good thing. You know, we could have great stores to go shopping and great roads and great services, but really it's about the schools and what we give the kids to move on to the future. You know, and then after going to college, hopefully we welcome them back, and this is where they want to raise their families, where they, you know, had their friends and their children will be able to, you know, raise here. So, Mr. Isola, I'm going to call you up, but I just want to thank you for that because that had me thinking. I also want to thank our counterparts at the Board of Ed. Mr. Miller was here today. I see Mr. Moretti here. If I'm missing someone, I'm sorry. But this is a joint effort. You know, this is a shared service. We get the children for the day, they get out of the classroom, they could, you know, like I said, see what goes on in government, and hopefully motivate them to become active, because that's what it's really about. It's really about giving back to the community and volunteerism, and that also makes a very unique community, and that's one of the proud things that I feel about Howell. So I think we're going to give some proclamations to the mayor and council. I am going to ask Mr. Miller to come up, Mr. Moretti to come up, mayor and council, come up, please. You could join us and recognize him. Mr. Isola, would you mind coming up and maybe just before we, come on. You know what?
It's fine. It's my spot right here.
You know, although it's a student government day, like I said, this is a joint effort, and we can do this without Mr. Isola and his staff, and I have to give recognition to our clerk, Penny, and our staff that put this together. A lot of time and effort goes into this. This has been going on, I'm going to say, for 25-plus years. And every year, we're always amazed on what the children bring to us, what they tell us, what they think are good ideas for the future. So I hope it stays around for another 25 years. And again, I just really want to thank the parents for allowing your children to participate in this, because it's priceless. And then I'm just going to, Mr. Isola? Please.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for being part of a really special program that I think Mr. Nacastro mentioned is over 25 years. I think we've been doing this so far, exceeds my time in the school district, but I think that the partnership is strong. It is what will make this community great. The children sitting behind us at the dais is the absolute answer to a better future. And I know that through a partnership with the town, the school system will continue to do the good work to make sure that the students that are leaving our schools and entering the regional district for high school and then on to colleges and careers are best prepared to meet this challenging future that lies ahead of them. So thank you, have a great evening, and congratulations to all involved in this great event.
We're going to read your name and then just ask you to come forward, and you'll receive this recognition. So the first, I got two here. Mila Milnes? Mia? I'm sorry, Mia. Mia was the contract, right? Catherine Taylor. Alexandria Procasio.
See, I prepared them ahead of time. We butchered some names up here before. Okay. Been up here a long time.
Mason Weiss.
You like that chair, Mason? You like that chair?
No. Kian Dowd.
What happened? Tough day on council, bad on?
Last but not least, acting mayor today, Kelly Larkin.
Directly, Councilman?
Oh, you want to say a few words? No. Sure. Mr. Moretti?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to talk? No, it's okay.
Come on, please.
My daughter Elisa was on this, she went to Southern, and she was on the same honor as these young people here. These are our future, and definitely were. Kelly, you sound like a great leader, I'm telling you. You took control, and you expressed your opinions very strongly, and we should do those items about school. We'll have to check into that stuff for you. Thank you very much.
So we hope that you keep in touch with us. We told you that we have emails. You have great ideas, so we would like to, hopefully bring some of those ideas to fruition. Don't be shy, and take this learning experience, growth, and apply it at the right time in your life, and you'll make great changes for this country and for this town. So, again, on behalf of the council and myself, I really want to thank you for coming out and spending the day with us and meeting all our department heads and all the different, departments that we have. And maybe you'll go home and you tell your parents how much really takes place in this town to make things that we take for granted happen. All right? So thank you, everybody, and we're going to take a few minutes break, and then we'll start our meeting. Okay, we're going to reconvene the meeting. Acceptance of minutes of previous meetings. April 6, 2017, we had a special meeting, affordable housing plan discussion, and April 18th, regular meeting. Can I have a motion to accept the above minutes?
I have to abstain from the 6th, Mayor.
Me too, and the 18th for me.
Let's take them separate.
I'll make a motion to approve April 6th minutes. However, I'm not going to make a correction, but I would just like to make a notation that at the affordable housing plan discussion that evening, there was at least one citizen that I can recall that actually understood the two-for-one concept on the 2-for-1 concept on the affordable plan. And it was very nice to hear that side of the opinion of the public as well. All the other, of course, everyone spoke things from the heart, and I understood it, but there was some other feelings that evening that I didn't see reflected in the minutes, and I just wanted to make note of that.
I'll second that, since I'm the,
Roll call, Mrs. O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Abstain, I wasn't present.
Mr. Walsh?
Abstain, I was not there.
Mr. Nacastro?
yes. April 18th, please.
A motion to accept the April 18th regular meeting minutes?
I'll second the motion. Yeah, I was there for the 18th.
Roll call, Mrs. O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Abstain.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro?
Yes. Reports of township officials. Mr. Mayfield, would you like to lead us?
There's nothing tonight, Deputy Mayor.
Okay. Lou?
I have nothing further council this evening.
McKenna? Penny, any add-ons?
I do have one add-on. Hang on one sec. It's the last resolution. Let me just read it into the record. Resolution
Read it softly, will you, please?
9A18. Demand the governor and the New Jersey State Legislature to properly allocate 911 System and Emergency Trust Fund monies to county and municipal 911 centers as required under federal law. And that's all the town clerk has this evening.
Thank you, Town Clerk. Hearing of citizens. Anybody want to come up and speak?
Can I sign in, please?
Did you want to sign?
Yeah, I'm already signed in.
Signing in, huh, Tom? Miss Money, how you doing today?
I'm good.
Sorry, no, but long day on you, huh?
No, I'm good.
Okay, no, been a long day. Just a little concerned, that's all.
Don't be. I'm fine.
We're conspicuously empty today.
Jerry, where you going, Jerry? We may need you. Jerry, where you going?
He's running away from home.
Yeah. Turn the mic towards you.
Paul Rayberger, 147 Arnold Boulevard. I just came here tonight because I understand that they're supposed to be voting in to restore my road back to a no passing zone. And I just really just came in to thank everybody for the effort you put into it. I know you guys are busy with the budgets and all that stuff, but just happy that you're able to take the time out. And I think by putting this thing back with all the truck traffic on the road, I don't have to worry anymore about these cars passing the trucks and, God forbid, the cars are pulling out with kids in it. It's hard to see them when they're flying around the trucks. So I think this is going to go a long way as far as safety goes. But that's it. I just wanted to thank you. And
I appreciate you coming here and saying that. We listened to you,
yeah,
and we talked about it. The manager did some homework, and I think you'll see some other things happen over there too over time.
yeah.
But
Well,
this is what we can do for now.
one other thing too is I have to admit the police department's doing a pretty good job. They stepped up the patrols and the speeding seems to be a lot better. So, I just want to thank everybody. That's
Great.
all.
Thank
All
you,
right?
Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You
Really
too.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Barbara, Ms. Dixell?
Really?
Where's my resignation letter?
Mine's right with yours.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Barbara
Good evening.
Dixell, 62A Piazza Vittoria, Freehold, New Jersey. I have a couple of things. The first thing I want to do is thank Mr. Mayfield, who came to the senior center the other day for the volunteer luncheon, and that was very nice. And I also have to thank him because I addressed something going up the driveway and going up the road. The moon craters and the holes are so deep that I have no idea how the senior citizens don't fall out of their seats on the buses. It's so bad. So I just need to know that you're definitely going to either repave the entrance going in or repave up that road, because I don't know how people don't fall out of their seats on the buses.
I'm leaving exactly how it's going to be handled up to DPW, so I don't want to promise that it's going to be repaved, but
Just do something, because it is
understand.
so bumpy and so bad with people on that bus with wheelchairs, canes, and all kinds of stuff. I don't know how they sit on that bus without falling out of the seats. Second thing I want to address, I have 2 agenda items. 9A14.
What's your question, Mrs. Dixell?
Why are they buying a,
You have to speak into the mic,
why
Barbara,
are they
sure.
buying a snow plow or a snow truck or whatever?
This was 2 capital requests, I think that date back from 2015, is that
And
correct?
13.
one is from 13, one is from 15.
So because they were spec'd out, now's the time that we are approving that capital expense from 2013 and 2015.
And they absolutely need this for snow removal?
These are multifunctional trucks. They're going to be used for many things, not only snow plowing, but they're going to be used for multi-purposes.
Brine, leaf pickup, brush pickup, all different kinds of things.
They
And
can
some of the money was already taken down through the Monmouth County Improvement Authority. So we're already paying for it. It's not like it's new capital.
This is a shared thing through the county?
No, we get cheap money we get low interest money.
Okay,
We take advantage of the county bonding,
okay.
so we get, borrowing rates a little cheaper. And again, with the DPW has decided to go into a different, more efficient way of buying these trucks and what their functions can, so.
Okay. All right, 9A15. Is this a shared service with the Board of Ed?
This is for the John Deere front end loader?
It says Educational Services Commission.
That's the name of the co-op that is being purchased off of
Right. But for the purchase of,
the front-end loader.
And what will that,
The co-op, the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey is a co-op.
and what will that do? What will this
Board of Ed or-
truck do, or whatever it is do? That the other one won't do, or will do?
It's not a truck, it's a front-end loader.
Okay,
Great
what,
big tractor thing with a big scoop on the front.
the
To
bucket,
move.
like a
Yeah.
front loader.
that's for streets, street route?
For different
What will it
stuff.
be used for?
For a lot of things.
They use it, for example, when they go out and do leaf collection. They do it for snow. They do,
Cul-de-sacs are done by front-end loaders. You can't have trucks pushing different things. They may use them over at the dump when they're moving leaves around and moving all the brush around that's being dropped off.
And Jeff, if I recall, the one that we are replacing is, I don't know, I want to say
One of them,
seven,
yeah, I think it's close to 20 years old, and I know they're decommissioning it.
yes.
I do agree that things have a life, they have to come to an end sometimes. They
Unfortunately.
have to replace equipment.
We do.
I know, but just, it's good, I'm not disagreeing with you, but just keep in mind, you guys cut $260,000 out of the budget for affordability, for everything you guys and the citizens of Howell, so just try to keep everything within reason.
We tried. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
Mr. Compagnia.
How you doing? Tommy
Doing well,
Compagno,
doing well.
Kettle Court. First, I want to say, you guys, the council, professionals, you don't get enough credit for what you do in this town. I just want to thank you for keeping our town the way it is, and keep up the good work. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Now, my complaint. Route 9, we spoke about this, you and I, Deputy Mayor,
Yeah.
about the traffic on Route 9. It's crazy. And we spoke about the light getting to be a little longer. Now Aldridge Road is terrible. So I think I have a solution or a suggestion. Maybe we can use the service lane 2 or 3 hours during the day. And I think that'll help out a lot. Because I think it's an accident waiting to happen, because there's a lot of people, especially out of towners, using that service lane, and it's going to cause an accident. When I'm sitting there waiting in the traffic, and I see these people come by in that service lane, I try to edge out a little bit so they don't come by. If I have to wait, let everybody else wait. So maybe we can, use it for 2 or 3 hours during the day, during the week. That's my suggestion. I don't know if we can do that.
So just to update you, because we did speak about it, and when you speak, I listen. But the very next day, I called Assemblyman Dave Rybel. About 4 years ago, I had a meeting at Senator Singer's office with the Commissioner of DOT. At the time, it was Commissioner Sampson. And we found out that the cycle of that light at Aldridge wasn't, I'm getting an echo, but wasn't properly regulated, if that's the word you want to use. So they changed it, and we did see an improvement. And I think that that's what's happening now with the optics there, that it's not picking up the cars and giving more of a cue to the north, going south side on Route 9. So he did tell me he was reaching out to DOT. Now, as you know, Route 9 is state jurisdiction. And Mr. Mayfield will correct me if I'm wrong. If we were going to do that and petition, we would have to do it by, I guess, petition the state to use the shoulder. However, there's going to be some problems with that, because that shoulder leads into driveways. And when they do some sort of study for that, because once they allow us, they take responsibility. And if there's an accident due to that factor, they will become responsible. So it's something we could look into.
It's an accident waiting to happen because people are using that lane, and they're coming down on the button. So that's what I'm saying, too.
Yeah.
So it's both ways.
Correct. But they're doing it illegally, and if they get caught by troopers or by the police department, they get summons. So you're doing it at your own risk of knowing that you're in violation and that you risk getting a ticket. However, we can't catch everyone, and we're not going to stop everyone. But I am going to check with Assemblyman Rybel tomorrow and follow up with him. This was a conversation we had, I think, a little over a week ago. I have to tell you, yesterday I was on Route 9. I thought maybe they fixed it because I just breezed right through I came from Hamilton, and I was on Route 9 about 5:30.
Come down Aldridge Road.
Well, I was coming down, I came off of 195, and I headed south, and I could tell you I passed Aldridge, and it wasn't backed up, and I was like, wow, that's unusual. So it just, for some reason, between Stanley Boulevard and Aldridge, I don't know why.
It's crazy. There's nothing happens. It's just a lot of cars. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
But
I-
we're on it, so I will get back to you personally.
I appreciate it, thank you. And
Thank
thank
you.
you all again.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I like when residents speak nicely about me. I enjoy that. Thank you, Tom.
We're going to close the public portion, and we're going to move on to consent agenda items. Council, any discussions, any separate motions? We have to make a motion to add on a resolution, right,
It's
Penny?
on here. She added it
No?
on.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve 9A1 through 18.
I'll second that motion?
Roll call, Mrs. O'Donnell?
Yes?
Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro?
Yes. What do we have? We have public hearing on ordinances. Penny, you know what? I don't have this.
So, Deputy
I don't have the
Mayor,
statement
that's
because I don't
okay.
have my.
That's
Did you-
okay.
Did you, oh, you took my book. I got it. Never mind. I moved it.
Couldn't have been Miss Woman's fault. She's perfect.
I was gonna bring it over to you. So if you need it, I'll bring it over.
She's perfect.
Let me just get to it. Bear with me 1 second. This is resolutions. I usually don't use a book.
Want mine? I have it.
You have yours already? Sure. Ordinance number O-17-8, introduced and passed on first reading on 4/4/17 and published according to law, is now being taken up for further consideration and public hearing. Affidavit of publication of this ordinance in the Tri-Town News issue of the April 13, 2017 is submitted, and it is noted that a copy of this ordinance has been posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and that copies were available to the general public upon request. Ms. Woolman, would you read the title of the ordinance?
An ordinance of the Township of Howell vacating, extinguishing, and terminating the Township of Howell's interest in a portion of Beechwood Avenue, Paper Street.
I'm going to open this up to the public for anybody who wants to talk about this ordinance. Seeing none, we'll close it. Can I have a motion from a councilman?
Motion to ordinance number 0-17-8 be finally passed and adopted, and the notice of its passing and adoption be published in the 5/11/17 issue of the Tri-Town News by reference to its title only.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, Mrs. O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro?
Yes. Second ordinance is on designate the entire length of Arnold Boulevard a no passing zone.
Motion to approve?
Oh, I gotta
Mayor,
read-
you
Oh,
have your,
sorry.
your,
I gotta read the statement.
thank you.
I beg your pardon.
No problem, Mr. O'Donnell.
Thank you, sir.
Want to get in the mix here? You need my, oh, you have it?
Ordinance number O-17-9, introduced and passed on first reading on April 4, 2017, and published according to law, is now being taken up for further consideration and public hearing. Affidavit of publication of this ordinance in the Tri-Town News issue of the April 13, 2017 is submitted, and it is noted that a copy of the ordinance has been posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and that copies were available to the general public upon request. Ms. Clerk.
An ordinance of the Township of Howell, Monmouth County, New Jersey, amending Chapter 7-15 entitled No Passing Zone and Schedule 28 to designate the entire length of Arnold Boulevard a no passing zone.
I will now open up the meeting to the public. Anybody who wants to speak on this?
Trying to do better with walking, but I probably need a hook. All right, Barbara Dixell, 62A Piazza Vittoria, Freehold, New Jersey. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I want to just ask, I absolutely agree with you on this. Anytime we've gone down to Ramtown, Greenville Road, to any kind of meetings that you guys have down there, it's pretty bad. But I want to ask you, in reference to signage, what type of signage could you possibly put there to get the message across? And would you consider putting signage at intersections with signs with pedestrians walking, like they have by the villages there, pedestrian signs, because from what I understand from this gentleman, I mean, that whole road is pretty bad news, and anybody who's on it or crossing it is probably in danger. So part of your signage, besides vehicle traffic and speeds, could any of your signage be for pedestrian safety?
So Barbara, what I would tell you is that signage is dictated by statute Title 39. Mr. Mayfield could touch on that a little bit more, but I'm sure the police department is going to look at that road and follow the law, Title 39.
That would just be my suggestion, that some absolute signage, whatever you have to do, by all means. But my suggestion would be also, in addition to whatever signage by law must be there to protect the people with these big 18-wheelers, like this guy is saying, that's flying up and down these roads, and people in houses and pedestrians and kids on buses. My suggestion would be, in addition to, like we have by the villages, just people, like pedestrian sign with a pedestrian, like, look, crossing or whatever, just to put people on notice that that is also in addition to what else vehicle traffic and what nonsense is going on there.
So I understand your question. Let me just give you another perspective. If you put up a sign like that and you don't have a crosswalk, you are now encouraging people to think that they could cross the street there.
I'm not encouraging anybody to do anything.
But
I don't
because
know
of
what
that
the-
sign being there, they think that's where the crosswalk is. So we'll take your suggestions.
But if there
Mr.
are-
Mayfield
if there-
noted it. We're going to bring it back to our police department. They're going to follow.
Any part of this road that needs.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying.
I
Just
got you.
For safety issues, for safety of everybody, whether it be vehicles, homeowners, pedestrians, school buses, people crossing, no matter what it is, to do whatever you need to do, wherever you need to do it for the safety. That's all my suggestion is.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Anyone else? I'm going to close the public portion. Council, any discussion, anything? If not, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion again, Bob. A motion that ordinance number 0-17-9 be finally passed and adopted, and that notice of its passage and adoption be published in the May 11th, 2017 issue of the Tri-Town News by reference to its title only.
Second.
Roll call, Mrs. O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro?
Yes, tonight we do not have any introduction of ordinances. It was a long day, so I assure you that I believe there will be many ordinances on the next agenda. We have some coming from the planning board. Is that correct, Ms. Kingdon? The schedule right? We have no unfinished business, do we?
No.
sir.
I'm sorry? Someone said?
No.
No.
She said no, sir.
For informational purposes, the municipal office will be closed on Monday, May 29th in observance of Memorial Day. You know, I didn't receive anything. Did you receive anything from the VFW for that? For their,
No, I did receive some from my brother. It's his birthday. Told me not to forget.
okay. Don't forget.
You went to school with my brother. Don't laugh.
Also for informational purposes, primary election is Tuesday, June 6th. Polls open at 6 o'clock. They close at 8 o'clock p.m. As the previous mayor said, the student mayor said, look at your ballots in the mail when they come to find out where your voting district is. Future meeting dates, we have a special meeting Tuesday, May 6th at 7 p.m.
16.
May 16.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
May 16th, 7 p.m., Middle School North, 501 Squonkam Yellowbrook Road. We are going to continue the discussion on affordable housing, the plan that Township is presenting to the courts. If that changes, there will be notice that we will be changing locations from Middle School North and having a regular meeting here at Town Hall. And then the next regular meeting will be Monday, June 13th, executive session.
Tuesday. It's a typo.
Well, it says
I know.
Tuesday. Well, typo, Penny.
She's
One of those days.
Fired.
Regular meeting Tuesday, June 13, 2016. Executive session starts at 6:30. Regular meeting starts at 7:30. If there's nothing else from the council, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Second.
Thanks, ma'am.
I'll
Nah.
second it.
Now, second.
Roll call, Mrs. O'Donnell.
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro?
Yes, thank you for coming out. Great job today, everyone, with the students, and we'll see you at the next meeting.
Nice job, Rob.